Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The New York Times calls Anubhav Pal India's most intelligent comedian. We have to check him out. The Times of India calls him one of the top 5 English stand-up comedians. His stand-up comedy special, The Nation Wants to Know, has had over 1,000 shows to sold-out houses across 30 cities worldwide. He's also the only Indian comedian invited to perform at Harvard University and for the Prime Ministers of India and Great Britain. His comedy special, The Empire for BBC World Service, went viral and has been seen by over 6 million people worldwide. He also writes a weekly column for the Economic Times. Please welcome on stage Anubhav Pal.
Hello, everyone. Things have to be really bad if there is a comedian at a power conference. I don't know what's going on in the power sector, but Harry tells me that rather than a serious speaker, you need a comedian going on in the power sector. My name is Anubhav Pal. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm told most of the people are from Bangalore and around, so I will be doing most of this in English. I know Bangalore is the most English-speaking city in India, so I might do some of it in Hindi, but I assume there is very little power in North India. Most of it, from what I hear, is in the hands of all you people. It's a pleasure to be here. For the next half an hour, we're not going to talk about power. We're going to talk about silly things. Forget about all the things you've talked about. I got to introduce myself. My name is Anubhav Pal. I am Bengali. Are there any Bengalis in the audience? Fantastic. There are Bengalis in the power sector. I'm shocked. Some of them are talking back to in Bengali, like all Bengalis do. This is the problem with Bengalis. Everyone thinks that everyone else is Bengali, when nobody else is. Here's the thing, though. As a Bengali, we're supposed to be the intellectuals of India. One of the things, as a Bengali, is that we speak constantly like this, with a crisp British accent. Because no one told us the British left. Hamare paas khabar nahi gaya. That is why we sound like this. Ye Modi kaun hai? That is why we sound like this. As Bengalis, we're supposed to be the intellectuals. People in Bangalore, you are supposed to be the scientists and the technologists of India. But people say, Anubhav, as a Bengali, you're very lazy. You are not like the Punjabis. You don't work hard. You cannot fight. That's not true. As a Bengali person, if that very handsome man over there, if he ran off with my wife, said, sir, as a Bengali, you think I can't do anything? You've run off with my wife. I will come over there and I'll write a poem. Who's clapping at that? Shameless people are clapping. Wait till I tell my wife about this. And if you marry her, I might even write a song. I will destroy you with a stanza. We are not supposed to be the intellectuals of India. Are there any Sindhis in the audience? A few? Yes, of course. This is free. Where else will you be? This is what I like. Very good. Any Punjabis in the audience? Oh, see, calm down. This is not Canada. You don't need to shout. You don't need to shout. Every opportunity you give to Punjabis, ah, ooh, ah. They are just sitting in an SUV shouting all the time. There is no need for that. Madam, I love Punjabis. There's no difference between Bengalis and Punjabis, except that we know how to read and write. Other than that, no difference. But Punjabis don't make fun. Don't make fun. Just because you're all wealthy South Indian people, don't make fun of Punjabis, because they are the builders of New India. Punjabis build all the businesses of India. I have a Punjabi friend. His name is Vicky. And Vicky, I am so proud of Vicky, ma'am, because Vicky can say things I cannot as a Bengali. Vicky is a proud man who says things like, "Hi Anubhav, my name's Vicky. I came to this conference in an Audi. Some guy outside, he said hi to me, I shot him. He said, you can't shoot me, this is a democracy." I said, "Utna English mujhe nahi aata hai." This is what I like about Punjabis. They're loud. I asked my friend Vicky, my friend Vicky told me, "Anubhav, the trouble with Bengalis is you read books. This is the problem. Sara din tum log kitab padhta hai." I said, "What do you do for fun?" He said, "I get into my Audi and I drive, bro." I said, "Where do you go?" He said, "I go to Haryana and then I drive back." See, he's clapping at that. I want his confidence. I want the Punjabi man's confidence. You see a Punjabi man in a nightclub, even in Bangalore, full of Punjabis now. Nightclub, he's dancing, he's enjoying himself, he's with a lady, he orders for the lady. He says, "I will have a whiskey coke, and this lady I will order for her. She will have a, ye Brazil se ye drink hai, Kaiparos, ye jo bhi hai ye leke aao." Have you seen a Bengali man in a nightclub? He looks like an out-of-work murderer. You've seen a Bengali man in a bar. He's standing there shivering like a murderer. He says, "Hello, my name is Aloysius Dattagupta. I'm doing a PhD in astrophysics with a specialization in nebulae." What is nebulae? Thank you for asking. It's a cluster of stars in the Andromeda galaxy. Oh, you are already kissing Vicky. No problem, no problem. My mother's here. This is what I like. You look at Punjabi weddings. My God, so much joy. There's a wedding going on in South Delhi. People in Toronto are dancing. Tutak, people are dancing. It's difficult. Bengalis are not like that. We are a diverse country. Any Malayalis here? 1, 2, 3, 4 Malayalis. My favorite part of India. I love Malayalis. The rest of the country are banning this, banning that, no beef, no chicken. Malayalis are just sitting there eating beef stew. They don't care. I love Malayalis. Vasco da Gama landed in Calicut, got an Ayurvedic massage, never left. Changed the history of India. One massage. Fantastic. Any Tamilians here? Brilliant, brilliant. The one Tamilian that is not teaching at MIT is sitting here. Sadly working in the power sector. In his head, he's like, "I'm just waiting. I'm going to go to Yale and teach mathematics." I love people. I love Tamilians. But I'll tell you, sir, Tamilians have given India either India's most brilliant people or India's completely crazy people. I have never met a Tamilian who is an average Tamilian. Tamilians have given India Ramanujan, who discovered the infinity principle. And all the people in Cambridge went crazy. The most brilliant Indian ever, Ramanujan. And it's given India Rajnikant. He can shoot a cigarette and smoke both sides of it. And say, "Raskala." Brilliant. Any Telugu people here? Telugu people? 1, 2, wow, look at that, sitting at the back. Why are you sitting there? Ready to go to Silicon Valley. This is what all Telugu people want. They want a tunnel from Gachibowli that comes out in California. They just want to avoid India altogether. Very good, Telugu people. Thank you for coming here and not watching Bahubali 2 500 times. It's very good. So many other communities are forgotten. Any people originally from Delhi? We can't get into caste. You're from Delhi, madam? Welcome to oxygen. Not used to it, are you? You come to South India, you think, "What is this? I have all the money in the world, but what is this?" Never experienced it. Fantastic. Any people from UP or Bihar? Yeah, you should have left your guns outside. They do not allow weapons at Shunya Farm. This is not an episode of Mirzapur. No guns allowed. This is what I'm saying. As a Bengali, it's very difficult to understand this country. Very difficult. I'll come to Bangalore. Don't worry. I'll come to Bangalore. My favorite part of India. What other parts of India have I forgotten? Maharashtra I'll come to. Here's the thing. Let me tell you about Goa. The only thing I know is, I think people say, we as Indian people, When I go abroad, people say, Anubhav, do you think Indian people are racist? Are we racist towards each other? More than being racist, I think we are, once we see someone from one part of India, we have decided what they are. If you are Anglo-Indian and you live in India, doesn't matter what you do. You could be the chief secretary in the Ministry of Finance. It doesn't matter. If you're Anglo-Indian, someone in India will give you a guitar and tell you to play it. Like, I'm Dr. Briganza and head of the Reserve Bank of India. Lovely, play now, uncle, play now. Maya, play now, play now. If you're Nepalese and you live in India, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're Nepalese, you could be the head of COVID research at Tata Institute of Medical Science. It doesn't matter. If you're Nepalese, someone in India will say, hey, Bahadur, idhar aao. Ye gate band kar dena. Like, no, I'm Dr. Shrestha. I went to Harvard Medical School. Lovely. Gaadi bhi park kar dena. We are not listening. We are not listening. We are not racist. We don't meant to be. I was in Delhi recently, and behind me was a cabinet minister from the northeast of India, Kiran Rijiju. He's a cabinet minister, and he was walking with Z plus security, people with machine guns. But this is the thing. Once Indians have decided they're going to say something racist, no one can stop us. Kiran Rijiju is walking in the Hyatt Hotel in Delhi. There is one mad Punjabi guy running behind him. Kiran Rijiju is from the northeast. One mad person walking behind him, shouting, chili chicken, hakka chow, chili chicken. He has guys with machine guns. They all turn towards him and say, kya bol raha hai, bol. The guy doesn't give up. He's running away, shouting, chop suey, chop suey. What is this country? How do we explain this country? How many people here from Bangalore? Oh, you become very quiet now, is it? I won't pick on you. I won't pick on you. I'm very fond of Bangalore. I'll tell you one thing. I'm 47 years old. I have a lot of friends in Bangalore. You guys are all distinguished captains of industry. All the people my age in Bangalore have quit their jobs. Everyone has left their jobs. They all had good jobs. ICICI, LIC, good jobs, left. And everyone wants to do a startup. Everyone. And the startups in India have superb names. I Bibo, you Bewakoof, make my trip, take my wife, endless. Jabong, ping pong, endless. Bonzo, Garzo, Buzo. People leaving good jobs and joining all this nonsense. And when you speak to them, he said, why did you leave your job, man? Why? He said, Anubhav, it's now or never. And you want to tell them never is better. At least your children will eat. Every startup I go to, everyone in any startup in India, anyone employed is 12 years old. Any startup. You, sir, you look like a very handsome gentleman. You there, in that lovely tie. What do you do for a living, sir? I mean, you're obviously in the power sector, but what do you do? Sorry? You are the head of an energy. See, you produce electricity. You are why I have lights. You do a real job. I went to a startup in Bangalore and I asked the children there, what do you do? What does this startup do? Aap kya karte kya hai? And he said, uncle, you won't understand. I said, first, don't call me uncle. Said, then explain. He explained. He said, our startup is an open-ended platform that sits on the cloud, that aggregates user data based on their romantic preferences. And we match them in a variable algorithm. Then I found out he works for Shadi.com. I said, just tell me na, Baba. I can't understand what anyone is saying. You know, this startup, he said, come. They took me. They said, come meet our senior. The senior was 26 years old. He sees a veteran at the company. He's worked there 4 months. They took me to meet the visionary founder of the company. He's 29 years old. He's retired. He's now writing a book and doing a podcast. He's given up, 29. What is happening in Bangalore? This is what I don't understand. And even before your startups get startup funding, everyone has an American accent. Everyone you meet in Bangalore, not in the power sector, but in the technology sector, everyone. So what do? Startup, I have a startup. I have a startup, B2B, B2C, E2C, E2C, bad startup. I said, what does your startup do? Does it eat the English language? I don't understand these startups. First, there was a startup called Swiggy. They promised to get you food in 20 minutes. They were not happy with that. Then they started Swiggy Instamart. They will get you food in 10 minutes. This is what I don't understand. In Bangalore, you have a startup called Furlenco. You know what the startup does? This gentleman, I love this. There's a gentleman over 60 who's listening to me like I'm giving a TED talk. He's like, what India is he talking about? This is what I like. These startups, I'll tell you, Furlenco, you don't have to buy any furniture. The startup says, if you're a young techie in Bangalore, you can rent furniture. They have ads all over Bangalore. It says rent furniture. And it says buying is over. Now only rent. So they have ads all over Bangalore for renting furniture. Furlenco. I was in Bangalore yesterday. They had an ad. Need someone to sit on the furniture. Go to shadi.com. What is this cross-fertilization happening? I can't understand. I don't know why you're clapping in the back. Have you rented from furniture or are you getting married? Which of the two? I'm very concerned. But before we get into anything else, how many people from Bombay? One whole group over there. Bombay, Bangalore, something is going on that I want to talk about. I know there are no builders here. You're all power people. But something's going on in every city in India, which I want to talk about, which is a real estate boom. Every city in India, they are breaking all the buildings and new high-rises are coming up. And Bangalore, you are the #1 criminal in this. Bombay also. Every high-rise in India has two things. The builder's son's name and one Greek god. Just now in Bangalore, I passed a building called Sudhir Zeus. Next to it, there was a building called Ravi Hercules. Hercules is the Greek god of gods. What is he doing on Hosur Road? In Bombay, there's a building coming up called Trump Tower, built by the famous Donald Trump. And the building says, an address so exclusive, we will not give it to you. You can't even buy it. And below that it says, for Mumbai's creme de la creme de la creme. My English is not very good. I've heard of creme de la creme, cream of the cream. What is creme de la creme de la creme? Cream of the cream of the cream. That's just milk. This is a building for doodhwalas. Adani bought the penthouse. What is it? Kulfi. I don't understand what is going on. I saw a building in Bangalore. It says, the name of the building was Prestige Olympia. And it said, now after a long day, the millionaires of Bangalore can drive their Mercedes straight into their private pool. I said, after a long day, they are going to drown if they do that. Creme de la dead is what they're going to be. But what is happening in India is very fantastic. Because every building in India has a European name. On the way up, I saw a building called Balmoral. Every building has a British name. Because they're trying to give you a very Shashi Tharoor feeling. This building is called Balmoral. If the building was called Ram Niketan, none of you would live there. They'll say, driver ko bhejo. Kya naam hai building? Hercules, Corridor. And the Balmoral ad, just now I saw it on the expressway. The ad for Balmoral said, come live with us. We will take you out of this world. That's not an ad, that's a threat. You bought a flat, then what happened? They came and shot me. They took me out of this world. In Bangalore, right in the middle of Bangalore, MG Road, there's a prestige building coming up. Look at the ad for that building. It said, residents of Bangalore, buy a penthouse. It's time to go to heaven. Are you God? Are you a builder? Who are you? I'm very confused. I'm very confused. But I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here, surrounded by technologists. Here's the thing. I'm sorry. I told myself it's a very prestigious crowd of the most powerful people in the energy sector. I should dress up for this. I told Harry, I'm going to dress up for this. So I'm sorry, this is the best I could manage. I look like I work in ICICI relationship management. And don't clap at that, shameless people. You have no shame of it. But I just want to say one thing about Bangalore. I do a lot of shows in Bangalore for one particular reason. Bangalore, one of the few cities in India where there is an elite class of people that still like to speak English properly. Even in Bombay, Calcutta, there are people who speak English properly. English bolo properly. Nobody else does it in India. Nobody else, except the people, sophisticated people of Bangalore, speak English properly. Because I grew up in an India where it doesn't matter if you knew anything. If you didn't know anything, it didn't matter. As long as you spoke English properly, someone will give you a job. Most likely Tata, but someone will give you a job. All you had to do was speak English properly. Anything you could say. These are my legs. This is my waist. I have a belly. Kya English hai? Superb. If you spoke Hindi, it doesn't matter who you were. You could be Albert Einstein. If you came to India and you spoke Hindi in the 1980s when I grew up, if Albert Einstein came and said, Sir, मेरा एक theory है. मुझे लगता है time और space relative है. और दोनों सर एक impossible continuum पे चल रहा है. और एक relativity का theory है सर, अगर एक equation कर सकते हैं E equal to mc square, हम लोग time और space के relativity को study कर सकते हैं. और हमें चुप! ये चाबी लो, गाड़ी चलाओ. ये साहब से सीखो. ये साहब क्या बोल रहा है? These are my legs, this is my pants. That was the India I grew up in. That India changed. Because Bollywood changed that India. Bollywood went to London. I grew up with a lot of inferiority complex. Speak English properly. That Bollywood went to London. Karan Johar went to London. Looked at Buckingham Palace and said, ye bhade mein kitne mein? And he started renting it, and Shah Rukh Khan started dancing all around London. So when your children and grandchildren have grown up, they have a very different view of London. When I take my son to London now, I tell him, beta, this is Buckingham Palace. This is where the Queen of England lived. And he said, this is nothing, Papa, this is Kajol's hostel. I've seen it in a film. So there, but, one last thing I want to say about this, which is there's still in Bangalore, in Bombay, in Delhi, there's still the remaining Indian uncles, a generation who like to speak English properly. And those people, I love those people, proper Indian uncles. And my father is one of those people. And they go to, and he says, these uncles always say, beta, I don't like living in India, beta. I don't like it. Every summer, beta, I go to London because I speak English properly, beta. No one in India understands me. They all talk like Shakti Kapoor. I can't understand. So I go to London. So these uncles go to London. London of 2023. No one has told these uncles, London of 2023 is the capital of Bangladesh. No one's told them. So they go to London and they speak English properly. In London, they are free. They are not caught in Hindi-speaking India. They're in London and they speak English. And they meet an English person. And they said, excuse me, can you tell me where the Victoria and Albert Museum is? Because I'm speaking English properly. I'm an Indian man from the 1980s. I live in Balmoral. I'm speaking English properly. And the English person says, today's English person looks at it and says, yeah, Bomo, it's no problem. It's just go straight. It's left. It's just behind. You step behind. They say in front. You say back. It's just behind. It's just back. Just. And then uncle says what all Indian uncles say. Ye kya bol raha hai? And 200 years of empire is washed off his face. And that uncle has no country actually. Because no one in Bangalore Club understands him. No one on Pedder Road understands him. No one in London understands him. His country went with Nehru. He has no country. And he's there alone, heartbroken. He's like, Mera desh ko kya hua? Who am I? And just then an English person comes up and says, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, sir. You're looking for the Victoria and Albert Museum. First right, you can't miss it. It's right there on High Street, Kensington. Have a lovely day. And he says, finally, an English person I can speak to. Your name, sir? Rishi Sunak. What do? I run this whole place. With what? My father-in-law's money. That's what I do. But different. We're a difficult country to explain. Difficult country. I'm glad. Before I leave you, I should mention this. You know, India, how we use the English language in India is very interesting. One of my favorite ways in which we use the English language in India, I've realized, is food. How we describe food. My favorite food is biryani. Are there any fans of biryani in the house? Big debate. Big debate. Here's the thing. There are 4 or 5 big cities in India that make biryani. And how we talk about biryani defines how we speak English. What are the big biryani cities? Hyderabad, Lucknow, Calcutta. What else, people? Mumbai, Belgaum. Just trying to slip it in. Try karte hain? Very clever. This is why the power industry is in trouble. Just slip it in. Very good. Hyderabad, Lucknow, Bangalore, all big biryani towns. But how we talk about biryani, because every person in India thinks their biryani is the best. I'm from Calcutta. Calcutta thinks biryani is the best. See, this man is shouting the name of the restaurant also. There's a Bengali man heckling me from the sides, shouting the name of the restaurant. Brilliant. I was in Lucknow, sir. I know you obviously like Calcutta biryani. I was in Lucknow and I met a gentleman. He said, "Arey Anubhav, Calcutta biryani is rubbish. You just come to Lucknow, you eat the biryani." I said, "What will happen? You will never go to Calcutta." "But I have family in Calcutta. I have other reasons to go." I spoke to the Bangalore guy. He said, "Boss, you try the Bangalore biryani." I said, "What will happen?" "You just tried, boss. You'll forget everything. Forget everything. Tomorrow I'll go home. My wife is like, 'Who am I?' I said, I don't know. I ate the biryani. I've forgotten everything." I went to Delhi. There's next level stuff. I went to Kareem's. He said, "Arey Anubhav, forget about Bangalore, forget about Calcutta, forget about Lucknow. You try the Kareem's biryani in Delhi." I said, "What will happen?" He said, "Boss, you'll go mad." I said, "You saw Anubhav? Where was he? He was running around naked around an ATM. He ate that biryani, he lost his mind." And the best was Bombay, best. The guy said, "Try the Jaffar's biryani in Bombay." I said, "What will happen?" He said, "Boss, you'll die." How is this a good thing? What is happening in India? But I'll just leave you with the story. I'll leave you with the story. A lot of people tell me, "Anubhav, do we have a sense of humor?" The first time Harry and I met, we had this conversation. Do Indians have a sense of humor? You know, if we had comedy at a power event, will people laugh? And the evidence is, we have one of the most intelligent people in the country, in the world. Of course we have a sense of humor. Our problem is, this is my tip to you, any of you can become a comedian. The difficulty is, don't write jokes. In India, if you want comedy, just observe. Every day our life is comedy. You want an example? Just now on the flight, on the flight, there was a lady sitting next to me, some VIP type lady. I won't name her, whatever, famous. Not important. She was sitting next to me and she called the air hostess. She says, "Come here. I fly this airline a lot. I'm a regular passenger. I don't like this sandwich. This is terrible. Call the pilot." The air hostess was superb. She said, "He flies a lot also, madam. In fact, he's flying right now. You want a sandwich or you want to land? What do you want?" Comedy is not hard in India at all. Not difficult. If you want to see comedy in India, before Tata's bought it up, go to any Air India counter. Now things have improved. Comedy has reduced. But when the government of India used to own Air India, go to any Air India counter. You will meet a man. And that man is the greatest man in India. That man is called Duty Manager Air India. And he has only one job. To just take incoming shouting. It is the hardest job in India. You can go to IIM, IIT, MIT, doesn't matter. That man at Air India just stands there while 1,000 Indians just point their finger and say, "Tu chore hai, tu chore hai." And his only job is not to change his face. Yes, no, focus. Fine, sir. No problems. And Indians are the only people who manage to shout in front of him, on his right, on top of his head also. On my last Air India flight, which was 5 hours late, people were shouting, food voucher, snacks, hotel. One guy got on top of him, said, flight kab jayega, flight kab jayega. First time the guy spoke, he looked up, said, aap wahan pahunche kaise? How did you reach there? One of the greatest days of comedy in my life was the day of demonetization. The day of demonetization, we all had to stand in line the next day to deposit cash. I don't know how it was for the power sector. You all are rich. Maybe you didn't have to stand in line. But the rest of India, rich, poor, everybody, on the 16th of November, 2016, something, we all stood in line. We had to deposit. Rickshawala, millionaire, doesn't matter. Everyone standing in line. In my building, one lady came down, very sophisticated lady, and she called her driver. She said, "Main line mein nahi jaunga. I will not stand with loafers and ruffians." She was a lovely Parsi lady. She told her driver, "Ye 5,000 rupiya lo, mera Aadhaar card lo, jaake bolo tum main ho." My job in comedy was to do only one thing: follow the driver. All I have to do is just write down whatever happened to him. So I followed the driver. The driver is carrying that lady's Aadhaar card. The driver is a 6'3" Bihari man with a moustache. The woman is a tiny Parsi lady. He's carrying an Aadhaar card. We go to the bank. This is the State Bank of India, Bandra branch, day after demonetization. The whole world is shouting at the bank manager. They are blaming him for demonetization. Everyone, "Mr. Ramaswamy, why did you do this? Why did you do this?" And imagine the day that manager is having. He's crying, he goes, "I didn't do anything. Madam, I have 2 days from VRS. Even my money is stuck. I didn't do anything." He's having the worst day of his life. And one by one, the customers are coming, eating his head. Then this gentleman comes. And this is why comedy in India happens. The driver goes and just throws the Aadhaar card like this. The bank manager is superb. He picks up the Aadhaar card. Looks at him. "Aapka naam Nayantara Kapadia hai." The driver is superb. He says, "Haan, hai. He says, "Yeah, Aadhaar pe likha hai aapka profession housewife. Aap housewife hai." Guy says, "Housewife ho." The manager is a genius. He said, "Aap kab se housewife hai?" The driver says, "Aaj se shuru kiya hai." The manager is up for it. He says to him, "As a housewife, how is it going?" The driver responds in English. He says, "It has its ups and downs." What comedy will you do? I'll leave you with this. I'm a 47-year-old Indian man. At 47, are there any Indian men here over 40? None of you are admitting it. There's a gentleman at the back, his wife is raising his hand. You're in a wheelchair, raise your hand. Indian men, I'm sorry, something happens to us after 40. You know, we are not like European men. Something happens. We are half man, half flower vase. It's very difficult for us. It's not. Indian women, beautiful. Indian women, 82-year-old Indian woman, Wahida Rahman, stunning. 82-year-old Indian man, Karunanidhi, tricky. It's very hard for us, very hard. I've been married 20 years. My wife, it's come to a point where she calls me and the dog the same way for dinner. We have a dog called Julius Caesar. This is how she calls Caesar for dinner every night. I don't know if this happens to you. She looks at Caesar, she says, "Caesar, ruff, 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 ruff." I have 2 master's degrees. She looks at me, "You, ruff, 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 ruff." You know the most messed up part? We both go the same way also. Khana nahi milega. It's very hard. It's not true for any other men. Not true for Pakistani men. Look at Pakistani men. The older they get, the more handsome they get. Imran Khan, 76 years old, married to everyone in England. Brexit was just him leaving. This is the thing. Indian men, we don't have it. But Indian men, I'll tell you, deep down, all of you will admit, that deep down, Indian men, all the men here I can see, we think we've still got it. We may be fat, we may be losers, we think we can still be charming with the ladies. Hello, ladies, hello. We think we've still got it. It doesn't matter who's clapping. You have no shame. I'll tell you, I got invited to my 25-year school reunion. And it said, come celebrate. Now that you are a winner in life, come celebrate. I went to a co-ed school. And the invitation said, 25-year reunion, spicy night. Come without spouses. Anything can happen. Arey, what can happen? Arthritis, what can happen? My friend Rajiv, he looked at the invitation. He said, Arey, chal, let's go. All the girls in school that used to like us, they will fall in love with us all over again. I will wear that t-shirt that I used to wear in school. My girlfriend in school, Natasha, she saw me in that t-shirt. She fell in love with me. I said, when you wore that t-shirt for Natasha, Narasimha Rao was Prime Minister. He said, doesn't matter. I'll wear it anyway. He wore the t-shirt for Natasha. It said, stud for the ladies. He's a 48-year-old man. He's so fat, it tore from the back. He said, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She'll see me and fall for my personality. So I said, that was the problem in the first place. We went to the reunion, all of us. He met Natasha. Natasha is now a very successful woman, works for Morgan Stanley, lives in Hong Kong, very handsome husband, 2 children, proper success in life. But my fat friend Rajiv, he thinks he has a chance. He takes his pan parag, he eats it. He goes up to Natasha. He says, hey, Natasha, remember me? Rajiv this side. Natasha says, I'm on the other side. He says to Natasha, remember, we were boyfriend, girlfriend in school. Remember me? What you see is what you get. Indian women are superb. She said, that's why I shop online. It's fantastic. I'll leave you with this though. I'll tell you who I'm blaming for all this. I'm blaming only one people. I'm blaming this present generation's children. I'm blaming all the children for this. How many people here have children? Brilliant. Yeah, you sir, you look like a very handsome gentleman there. Do you have sons or daughters? What are their names? Neil, very cool. Very cool. See, nowadays Indian parents, they have cool names for their kids. Neil. You know, because he knows in his head, moment son graduates, straight to America. Neil, very easy to understand. Neil. If his name was Ashwathama, it wouldn't work. Indian parents. Any other parents here whose kids have cool names? Sir. Kabir, very cool. Very modern. Mikhail, very cool. Look at that, very cool. Everywhere I go in India, all the parents have given themselves children America-ready names. Especially in Bangalore, all your international baccalaureate schools, all ready names. All the men have names like Vivan, Tahan, Ahan, Shahan, Buhan. All the women, Shanaya, Tanaya, Vanaya, Banaya. Everyone sounds like a restaurant in Tehran. If you name your child Mohan in 2023, you know he will grow up to work for Blue Dart. You know. The other day I met a young man. He said, Uncle, my name is Rupe. I said, your name is Rupen. Rupen. You're Gujarati, Rupen. He said, no, Rupe, the N is silent. I said, why? He said, I'm an NRI. I said, your name is Rupe, like the currency. Be careful, the Prime Minister might demonetize you. I can't understand what is going on in this India. I don't understand anything. And my biggest problem is this. I blame these young people because my son, I don't know about your children, doesn't listen to anything I'm saying. Because you know who his real father is? Google is his real father. Whatever I say to my son, I'm trying to teach him something. He says, I'll check on Google and get back. Whatever, I'm your father, I'll check on Google and get back. Arey, don't clap at that, shameless. What information do you have that I don't have? I'm very concerned. I'll check on Google. I'll leave you with this. I was trying to buy a desk, normal writing desk. I was trying to buy a desk. I wanted to write, buy a desk. I told my son, I want to buy a desk. Will you come with me? We'll go to a shop, IKEA or something, buy a desk. He said, no, Papa, don't be a loser. Nobody goes to shops anymore. That's very 2005. I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, go online. Go online and buy a desk. Go to pepperfry.com. Be cool. I said, okay, I can be cool. So I went. I went to pepperfry.com. But the website said, before you can buy this desk, I like the desk. Before you can buy, see what our other buyers are saying. So I cannot buy till I've read all the comments. The first comment, the very first comment, is from a guy in Bangalore. And the comment is from a guy called @Abhishek, single but willing to mingle 14. And he has written, I bought this desk and I'm sitting on it. Another guy has written another comment under it, @Mohit, Lothario Casanova Pune 12. And he has written, you are ugly. The first guy has said, come outside. The other guy said, where outside? I'm in Pune. The first guy has said, I'll come to Pune and bash you up. By now I've forgotten why I came to this website. I just want to know how this relationship is going to end. Somebody under that has written, Rahul Gandhi is a fool. Somebody under that has written, for a massage call 94443. I still don't have a writing desk. This child is not my child. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been fantastic. Thank you very much. It was a delight to have you. In the times we live in, I think Harry decided a bit of levity is necessary in all industries. And congratulations to all the winners who are well deserved. And thank you for India to be lit and shining. Because India would not be shining if it wasn't for you guys literally switching on the lights. So thank you very much.
Can I just say? Anubhav, when I was sitting here listening to you, I thought I'm sitting in Toddigan's Club lawn. This is what happens in Calcutta, this kind of show. So, you know, I didn't realize I'm in Belgundi, not in Calcutta. You may not know, I know your parents very well. So let me say, you're son of Manav and Shubha. In fact, very recently your father celebrated the anniversary, right? I couldn't make it. Shubhrata and Urmi went. I just spoke to them. Let me also tell you, his father was an excellent actor. In fact, I have learned acting in my college days from his father, Manav Pal. He's the only one, if you come to Calcutta, set up a floating restaurant called Floatel in Ganga. And Manav is the only one who had a direct contact, direct meeting with a guy called Onassis. I think you know who is Onassis. Manav told me the story when he went and met Onassis, when he went to Singapore, went to Onassis and said, I want to set up a floating restaurant on Ganges in Calcutta. It is called Floatel. It is still there. It is his father's property. If you come to Calcutta, not only you contact Anubhav, but also his father, excellent man, excellent person, and he has inherited this partly from his father, Manav and Shubha. Thank you very much, and give my regards to Manav and Shubha. I am Ashok Dasgupta. Nickname is Bula. They know me by Bula.
Thank you. Sir, I've done 1,000 shows over the world. Never, first time, someone has come up and said they're friends with my father. I'm glad you are. I will pass on the message. These are all facts. I feel like I was just scolded by my parents after the show. I'll hand it over. Thank you. Yeah. No, I'll do it. But specifically, what would you like me to do? Harry, you want something specific that you wanted me to do? You want me to talk about my favorite Arnab Goswami? Is the audience... this is very interesting. Once we decided to do the show, the thing that interested Harry the most is where news media is today. And I don't usually do this because nobody watches television anymore. But I was a huge fan and continue to be of, there are an older generation of people here. I continue to be a huge fan of Mr. Arnab Goswami. I know many of you don't watch TV anymore. But do you remember Arnab Goswami? Do you remember, before he became a BJP party member, do you remember him? Do you remember him when he was just an ordinary citizen? Yes, I'm a big fan of Mr. Arnab Goswami, not because of the news, but because when he started Nation Wants to Know, I had one recommendation for all the people of India watching the show, which is just step back from the television a little bit, especially if you're a heart patient. If you're a heart patient, if you're watching Arnab, I had always had one request, just step back, because what will come at you is India! You're like, are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening now. My dog is dead. Of course I'm listening. And there are very few people who can keep up that level and give you heart attack after heart attack. So if you don't have blood pressure medication, that was one of the best news programs to watch. Because Arnab from morning to evening said, our nation was the first people to tell you that Shashi Tharoor wears pants. Our nation was the first people to tell you that Pakistan is not a sandwich. We are the first people to tell you that Amitabh Bachchan wears a wig. And keeping it up at that level, right? And this is the brilliant thing, that there was an expert. He always had experts. I know that news, now everyone goes to WhatsApp and Twitter. News has changed. But in the good old days of news, there used to be experts who were my favorite. Because there was one expert who was always shouting at Arnab, saying, Arnab, Arnab, Arnab. Next to him, there was one uncle who was saying, I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. But my favorite was the last expert. It was usually Bishan Singh Bedi. And he didn't know the camera was on. He was in his house telling his servant, thoda whiskey dalo, thoda. Enjoy your awards. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great pleasure to have the honor to start off the award ceremony. And before we start off the normal award ceremony, I've been told that we've got some innovative players in the power sector who are getting awards for innovations. And that is something I must thank Ashok Das Gupta and the jury which has selected those guys. So don't have a sequence of the innovative guys, but any one of you who are one of the innovators can come up and spend 2-3 minutes telling us what you have innovated upon. Do you have a list? Can you give it me? Okay. So we have somebody on Energy Conservation Demand Response Program from Tata Power who's going to speak. There you are, ma'am. Energy Conservation Demand Response. You suit the role. Energy Conservation. Yeah. You want to speak there? Introduce yourself, huh?
Good evening all. First of all, thank you IPPI and all senior delegates to give us the opportunity to present our project. I am from Tata Power. I associated with Tata Power for more than 15 years, first in Delhi and now in Mumbai. So just coming to the point, what was our project? It is behavior demand response. As I'm listening for last 2 days, that how discoms are managing the solar surplus power generated through solar. So this is one of the project where demand response is nothing but it's a load curtailment by the consumer on call by utilities during peak demand or during contingency or the low frequency. We have done this pilot for around 10 events in which we communicated the consumer where we have informed them to one-to-one call plus our email, and on our request, like we called the event 24 hours before or 2 hours before. On that, they curtail their load. It is a voluntary load shedding or load curtailment from a consumer, and we calculate, we have our old software where we calculate load curtailment and we incentivize them for for that much of load curtailment. We usually call the event during evening hours, which is where the IEX rate, RTM or DAM markets are very high and there is no renewable. So we ask them to shift their load from non-solar hours to solar hours. And the incentive what we have provided is ₹1 per unit. So this is all is a program, and we are able to get around 100 megawatt of load curtailment in 10 events, on an average 10 megawatt per event. And other than demand response, we are also exploring the other programs like demand flexibility, where we are associating with BMC. We want them to shift their water pumping load from evening to and solar hours, and we'll pay incentive to them. There are definitely, it's a win-win situation for consumer as well as utility, because for consumer it is another revenue stream for him to get an incentive, and this incentive is disbursed through his electricity bill. Like he will get that, for example, he has reduced 1,000 unit, then the 1,000 rupees will be adjusted in his next electricity bill. And this is a known program, demand response, all over the globe. Like for Australia, they have 2 years before implemented the wholesale demand response program. From India, it's not as a regularized, but definitely regulatory support is needed to create demand response or demand flexibility as a tool for power management for an utility. So that was the whole of our program. Thank you once again for giving this opportunity to us. Thank you.
Can we have someone from JSW Energy?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. I am myself Sanjeev Kumar from JSW Energy Vijayanagar. With the 2 days, whatever we have discussed during this workshop, we have learned so many things from the stalwarts of this power sector. And in our company, as we have taken a step to introduce RE power into the system, because we have an integrated steel plant which will presently consuming around 1,000 megawatt, and we are going forward towards 18.5 MTPA where we will consume 1,600. As an initial step, we have commissioned a 225 megawatt solar plant which has started injecting power into our complex in last April 2022. So this is a good step in terms of going green power, whereas it impacts the thermal power to be flexible. So in order to reach lower loads, we need to reduce our technical minimum capacity from 50%, almost we have reached 30%. Even at we have taken trials around 25%, and from last 1 year we are continuously running around 25 to 30% of load daily in the solar hours. So this 300 megawatt we are able to achieve. During this journey, we have faced one problem because of inherent nature of thermal power plant. As the load is coming down, our heat rate and APC are increasing. So that is impacting our cost. So in order to control that, we have created a data infrastructure platform in-house using OSFI technology, which can collect the data right from the DCS, and it can manage and it can give an analysis real time, so that the operator, while ramping down or ramping up the load, he can come to know what are all the losses that is happening, and which can be optimized through process operating. So this data infrastructure tool, used on this tool, we have a visual platforms also, wherein all the breakups during on a real-time basis, we will get all the breakups in terms of heat rate losses and the APC losses, so that operator can take immediate action and we can reduce that losses to some extent. So by doing this, this almost from 2021-22 itself we have started, because we know by the April 22 we are going to synchronize our solar plant. So we have started the trials of unit as well as developing the different dashboards, and this has resulted in a huge savings for the financial year 22-23, almost on the front of APC and heat rate. Almost we have achieved a savings of 10 crore in a single 300 megawatt unit, with a small investment of 1.8 crore, which has helped us a lot in taking the greener power. At the same time, our costs are not increased. With this, I will conclude this thing, and thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you, IPA, for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Congratulations. May I now request Mr. Ghanshyam Prasad and Bhala Saab to join us on the stage, please. घनश्याम जी, आप कहाँ छुपे हुए हैं? हाँ. Bhala sir, please join the stage. Ashok, over to you now.
Thank you.
You're the showman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Over the years, we have been running this IPAI Power Award, the last item of the RPR. Now, this Power Award, IPAI Power Award, has now become a symbol of where you stand, your status symbol, I will call it, in power industry. I know some of the companies, for example, like CSC, I've been told, when they were awarded a Power Award from IPAI, if you go to their Bajbaj power station, I was told that there is the trophy in the reception. IPAI has Power Award has covered throughout India, So everywhere you go, you find that IPAI Power Award is there, shining in their reception. And that's what we have achieved, and we want to do it every year, the same thing, to encourage people who have done excellent work in their profession, in their line. Now for this, what we do, we have a knowledge partner for a number of years now. They're Deloitte in Delhi. And on behalf of IPAI, I would like to thank Deloitte for giving us this service for years together, without whom, we would not be able to proceed further. They've been doing it for us years together. What we normally do is that we decide on the categories where we will give awards for, and then Deloitte vets it. And in the meantime, we have a jury team. We select a jury team, and we have some of the jury members with us here. We have Dr. Pramod Deo. Mr. Raja couldn't make it. We have Mr. Prasher, Mr. V.K. Garg, And we also have Ajay Shankar, Mr. Sunil Wadhwa, Mr. V. Subramaniam. And we also have very senior people here whom we like to, take advice from Power Awards. Is Mr. Bajaj and Mr. Verma. Thank you all very much for giving this service to EPI. And we have received very good number of nominations this time from almost in all categories. And they came on time also, so that we could inform the winners to be present here personally. And I think most of them are here today. And we have another category called innovation category. Innovation could be technical field, commercial field, or techno-commercial field. And there again, we received excellent nominations. Very difficult for me to decide whom to discard and whom not to discard. I would like to thank Mr. Bhalla. Thank you very much, Mr. Ghanasham Prasad. And Mr. I think Gupta is not there probably. Gaurav, I will also request when we give the awards, some of the jury members to come here and give the awards to the winner. May I also request Harry? Harry, please come. Harry, please join us. May I request Dr. Pramod Deo, please come to the dais, Dr. Deo. Now the first award, this is for the best thermal power generator. The runner-up for this is JSW Energy Limited. JSW Energy Limited, please come and take your award. May I request Mr. Prasher to join us in the dais, please? Mr. Prasher and Mr. Garg. Kindly join us. Mr. Prasher and Mr. Garg. We are now going to announce the winner for the best thermal power generation. While I may name the winner, may I tell you that I did not do any hanky-panky because this is the company I used to work for. They are the winner now in generation. Calcutta Electric Supply Corporation, known as CSC, for their Baj generating station. CSC, who has come from CSC to take this award? Congratulations to CSC. When we had this meeting with the jury, I did ensure them that I had no way to play. I didn't play with this award at all, just because it's CSC. But congratulations. Now we come to the best transmission utilities under public sector. Runner-up, OPTCL. Second runner-up, OPTCL. Mr. Mehta, has there been any year that you did not come to receive your award? Has there been any year? I don't think so. Every year you come and receive. Congratulations. And the first runner-up is West Bengal State Electricity Transmission Company Limited, WBSETCL, the first runner-up under Best Transmission Utility under Public Sector. Congratulations to you, WBSETCL. They have been also constantly winning awards. Thank you. Thank you. Now we come to the load dispatch centers. Best load state dispatch center. The outstanding contribution is by WBSLDC. WBSLDC. Anybody from there? बोलेगा. Hello, please join your hands in congratulating the winner, GetCo, under the Best Transmission Utility of Public Sector. Now for State Load Dispatch Center, the first runner-up is Orissa SLDC. Orissa SLDC. Again, Mr. Mehta. Orissa is monopolizing. And the winner is Gujarat SLDC. Gujarat SLDC, the winner. Over the last 2 days, we've been discussing a lot about DISCOM, health of DISCOM, AI in DISCOM. Now, we had a category called Best Performing Distribution Company, DISCOM. And we have got 3 companies who have been outstanding. MACDCL, outstanding contribution in distribution. MACDCL, PGVCL, and TNSNPDCL, and BEST. They are not taken. Outstanding contribution from WBSLDC. Is anybody from WBSLDC, State Load Center? Same. Runner-up UGVCL, Discom. UGVCL. Winner of Discom APEPDCL. APEPDCL, the winner. Most progressive SERC renewable promotion, winner MACDCL. MACDCL. Most progressive SERC renewable promotion. Note. Now we come to the next category, best distribution company to promote consumer awareness. Outstanding contribution, TSN PDCL. TSN PDCL. Outstanding contribution PGVCL, best distribution company to promote consumer awareness. PGVCL. Outstanding contribution APEPDCL, best distribution company to promote consumer awareness. APEPDCL. Now we call runner-up MSEDCL. MSEDCL, best distribution company to promote consumer awareness. Runner-up MSEDCL. Now the winner, UGVCL. Best distribution company to promote consumer awareness, UGVCL. Now we come to the category of best wind power plant. The winner is Adani Wind Energy Kutch 6 Limited. Adani Wind Energy Kutch 6 Limited. Best wind power plant. we have the next category, Best Solar Developer. Best Solar Developer. Thank you. Greenco, Best Solar Developer, Greenco. Greenco. Now we have Best Wind Solar Hydro Hybrid Project. Winner Adani Hybrid Energy Jaisalmer 1 Limited. Adani Hybrid Energy Jaisalmer 1 Limited. Now the Best Wind Developer, winner is Greenco. Greenco, Best Wind Developer. Don't go away, Greenco. Next award also goes to you. Okay, fine. Best Hydro Developer, Outstanding Contribution, Greenco. Best Hydro Developer, Outstanding Contribution by Greenco. And the winner is BBMB. You're almost monopolizing this trophy, you know. Yes, together. Congratulations. BBMB. Now we come to Best Solar PV Plant, Outstanding Contribution, Greenco. Outstanding Contribution, Best Solar PV Plant, Greenco. And the winner is Adani Renewable Energy Limited, Raura 200. अच्छा, बेस्ट लोड डिस्पैच सेंटर, आउटस्टैंडिंग कंट्रीब्यूशन WBSLDC. Now we come to the Innovation Awards. Energy efficiency, reduction of losses and improvement of power factor. Northern Power Distribution Company of Telangana Limited. Northern Power Distribution Company of Telangana Limited. Stay back, please. Northern Power Distribution Company of Telangana Limited, please come. You've taken both the awards. Okay. So they had 3 awards. They've taken all. Okay. Now, energy efficiency in digital monitoring of auxiliary consumption and heat rate, JSW Energy Limited. Now in techno-commercial category, RF metering and meter data initiatives and consumer service, MACDCL. Now in the innovation category, R&D and other innovations, infrastructure, disaster management, mobility, net zero and energy efficiency goes to OPTCL. Next award was also to you. You've taken both the awards. Okay, thank you. Energy conservation auxiliary tripping system for 400 kV bus reactor. That I think has taken. OPTC has taken both. Now energy conservation demand response program, Tata Power. Now we are almost coming to the end of this Innovation Awards. I know. On techno-commercial, removal and installation of rotor and gearbox of wind turbine, Windcare India Private Limited. This year we have also awarded awards to recognize persons for outstanding achievements in the power sector. There, under outstanding achievements, we would like to award Rahul Walawalkar. Is he here? No, for Rahul Walawalkar for outstanding achievement in the field of energy storage. Is anybody there on behalf of Rahul?
Yes, he's there.
Please come. Next is Mr. Balwan Joshi, outstanding achievement in the field regulations and markets. Mr. Balwan Joshi. Why don't you put your hands together and give a big clap? Please.
Balwant, hang on. Balwant, hang on. अरे photo लो यार ठीक से. There was a shadow on Ghanshyam ji's face. His flash wasn't working. Yeah, now do it.
The next award for outstanding achievement in the field of nuclear energy goes to Anil Kakotkar. I believe somebody is here to receive the award for him. For Anil Kakotkar. Please come. Please. We have an outstanding achievement award for Vijay Kelkar for outstanding achievement in the field of finance. I believe he is not there, but let's give a big hand also to Vijay Kelkar and all those who have received awards for outstanding achievement. Now we have a special category for power lawyers, and we would like to acknowledge the power lawyers who have been contributing a lot in the power sector. We have here with us Hemant Sahai, Mr. Hemant Sahai. Congratulations, Mr. Sahai. Mr. Hemant Singh. Mr. Hemant Singh. Mr. Hemant Singh. Congratulations. To other lawyers who would also, we are acknowledging their contribution, they are not there, unfortunately, Mr. Sanjay Sen and Mr. Amit Kapoor. Let's give a big hand to all the power lawyers. There are outstanding personalities in power sector who have done so much in their life and are still carrying on to do, Power sector is really indebted to them. and we have some of them present here today, and we would like to show our respect to them and acknowledge the fact that they have been pillars of strength in the power sector. We have for Lifetime Achievement Award, Mr. Anil Sardana. Then we have Mr. Montek Singh, Anil Sardana. Congratulations. Who's not there? Lina, हाँ, जो देखा ठीक है, वो था, ये Montek Singh ठीक. Now the next award for Lifetime Achievement Award is our very dear, what should I call, dear mentor, friend and advisor, everything in IPAI from the very beginning, Dr. Pramod Deo, who is going to give him the award now. We are actually awarding 5 for lifetime achievement. Mr. Anil Sardana, who has just been here. Mr. Montek Singh is not here. Mrs. Lina Srivastava not present. And of course Dr. Pramod Deo. And we have also Dr. S.L. Rao. First of all, I would like you to join me in giving a big hands to the Lifetime Achievement Awards. And we are now writing this over, please.
Ashok.
Yes.
S.L. Rao has a message recorded.
Yeah, we are going to show. We are going to show the video.
Please
S.L.
join
Rao
us.
recorded. Yes. आप लोग उधर जाके बैठिए, अच्छा होगा, better होगा उधर जाके. Yes. So that virtually ends our awards, and I thank you all. And
बजाज साहब का क्या हुआ?
we hope, sorry? क्या? सुनो, बेदा.
I must compliment the Independent Power Producers Association of India for what they have done so far in supporting the power sector. Almost from the time that I became the first chairman of the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. The CERC Act was created the first national regulator for the power sector. Only, as far as I can remember, 2 other regulatory bodies were in existence at that time. One was the Securities and Exchange Board of India, which covered the whole of India, but that was a national central regulator without any state level regulators. The other, which had more or less started about the same time as a little before CERC, was the Telephone Regulatory Authority of India, which also was a national regulator. When the CERC was created, we were fortunate in that we had members with expertise in cost accounting and in the power sector. That is very useful. What I valued greatly was the selection of our secretary at that time, Sanjeev Ahluwalia, who provided a great deal of support to the early decisions of the Commission. Of course, I don't need to tell all of you what the CERC was about. It was looking at the total coordination of the power sector in the country in terms of the user, the consumer, and the producer, the generator, and the transmitter. What we found when we started operating the commission, which we treated as a judicial body, which it was, and we functioned as a judicial body. What we found was the commission did not provide for the interchange between regulators, because the regulators were being appointed not merely at the center, but each state was going to have its own regulatory commission. And there was no provision for an interchange between all these different commissions in the country. And one of the first things we did was to create a body which we called Forum of Indian Regulators, FIRE, which was intended to enable state and central regulators to meet regularly and exchange ideas on how they were functioning and what regulations, rules and so on they were doing for themselves in order to function efficiently. FIRE, as far as I know, has been an extremely efficient organization, effective organization, which has done a great deal for the power sector in the last 25 years. The other body that we created was intended to enable more easy interchange of power in South Asia, particularly between India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. And I remember going to Murray in Pakistan to found the South Asian Forum for Infrastructure Regulation. And that has also had some useful impact on power availability here and in Bangladesh particularly. I certainly believe that the coordination and the operation of the power sector in the country as a whole has become very much more effective than it would otherwise have been. And that is a great thing for the Indian consumer, the Indian user, Indian industry, and the economy as a whole. It's worked very well, and I think that was a very great contribution that was made to the development of the power sector. In conclusion, may I again convey my compliments to IPAI and now thanks to IPAI for having picked me or selected me for this Lifetime Achievement Award, and I'm very grateful to all of you for having come to see me receive it. I regret that age and health do not permit me to travel and join you, and I do hope that this conference will be a great success. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have further Lifetime Achievement Award for those who have done all their life nothing but, for the improvement of power sector. And I have with us Mr. Prasher. Mr. Prasher, would you please come here and receive your Lifetime Achievement Award? Mr. Bajaj, please come to receive your award, Mr. Bajaj. before I leave the stage, I'll be failing in my duty if I don't mention something to you. It's a conference we just had 2.5 days. The organization of this conference is a very tough job. Not only to finalize the agenda, getting the speakers, then getting the juries, getting the awards, and making sure that the topics are very relevant topics, which is done, and getting so many people here, and the arrangements here in that Shunno Farm retreat. And you know something, all this has been done by a single man, which is some of his assistants, but mainly the single man, whose brain, whose ambition, whose thoughts, and the way he pictured the whole thing was Mr. Harry Dhol. I would like all of you to give a very, very big hand to Sri Harry Dhol. It is because of him that we are all here, and we congratulate him for the excellent job that Mr. Harry Dhol and his team has done. Harry, thank you very, very much, and we hope this will be repeated in years to come. I'm sure you'll all agree with me. Thank you, and that's the end of the award ceremony today. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors, the West Bengal State Transmission Company Limited and Greenco for supporting us in this event. Thank you very much. I'd also like to congratulate Mr. Prashar and Mr. Bajaj and Dr. Deo and all the others who got their Lifetime Achievement Awards. I think this is fantastic. Words are not enough to really give credit to the kind of work these people have done. And I particularly feel very honored that I had this opportunity of being able to be here when we are acknowledging their contributions. We'd be very happy to hear from you guys if any of you want to say anything. Bajaj sir, particularly you. I'll bring the mic to you, darling. Don't worry.
Okay. Just few lines. Thank you. Una no entiende nada. Pero
Hello. Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award from this esteemed group of my mentors, colleagues, friends in the IPAI. I thank the IPAI and its Director General, Mr. Harry Dhol, and accept the award with all humility. I appreciate the recognition of work that I have had the privilege to do and lead alongside scores of my colleagues over the last 50 years in HSEB, BHEL, NTPC, CA, and APTEL. While I feel the work has its own reward, receiving this award today makes me remember the contributions of all those colleagues without whom I could not have been receiving this award. I have been fortunate to have as my mentors and role models of this power industry leaders such as Dr. Anil Kakodkar, Dr. Anil Razdan, Mr. Bami, and many more who have inspired me, guided me, and helped me at every step. To end, I quote Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who said, "Life and time are the world's best teachers. Life teaches us to make good use of time, and time teaches us the value of life." I once again thank IPAI and all of you for honoring me this evening. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Prashar Sahib, where are you?
Hey,